Good morning, good morning, good morning. Always so wonderful to be for the first Saturday shift. We are here in another 30 days from where we have begun. So that means we are still on the journey. We are still here. Now the question is, are you making positive progress on this journey? Are you thriving? Are you living abundance? How are you carrying your grief? That is the key on this journey. Everyone needs to be thriving with their loss, growing with their grief. There is no getting rid of it. There is no passing it on. And that's why I'm here, the grief strategist, to bring some godly strategies on how we take steps daily with our grief. Not moving past it, not disregarding it, not just trying to avoid it or create these coping skills, but actually processing the thing that God has given us, this circumstance, this situation. So let's jump in today. Let's jump in so we can become the vehicle that God has created us to be, so we don't get bogged down in a place that we are no longer to function. So let's jump into the word, and it is Proverbs 25, 8 today that I want to really focus on. And it says, he that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So when I see broken down and without walls, it means no boundaries, no control, no stability in your life. You just allow everything to cause your spirit to do whatever it is that it wants to. That means more than likely you're being ugly to others as well. So on this journey, we have to be careful of what our spirit, and don't get me wrong, we all go through things. And the key is we need to learn how to go through them and understand it was for our good. And I know it's people on here and saying, what are you talking about? For our good? It's not for our good. It's hurting. It's painful. But yes, it's the process. It's stretching us and it's growing us. So get with me to that word, Proverbs 25, 28. This is an opportunity to share, text somebody that you know is going through or want to go through and don't want to stay in a place where their vehicle cannot move and function to the next level. Because what we're talking about is loss of self-control, when you don't have control over your spirit, your soul, over the direction that you're going, because you allow everything else to just throw you. So we're this vehicle, and when you allow everything to throw you, that means your shock and your struts are bad or just totally gone. Have you ever ridden in a car that every time it stops at a stoplight or a stop sign, you feel like you being jerked or thrown out of the vehicle? And this is how people, when they feel like they're in your company, they always feel like they're being thrown for a bad loop, because your spiritual strokes and struts need work. They need work. And what it means is that we've become very unstable people. As the word says, our walls are broken and our spirit is cracked. So the thing is, we got to get to the mechanic. Hey, the relationship service station where you can pull in to your grief strategist, your mechanic today. So let's talk about the things, the reason we have shocks and struts. And so these are things that you'll know if your shocks and struts are not in alignment. Because the first thing is, it allows you to have stable movements. So it controls your body, your thoughts, your next steps. So if you aren't making stable movements, and what is stable movements? I mean, that I can't make a decision, that I can't go forward. These are stable, sound movements. That means it's telling your socks and stress system, I am always fighting with my spirit to get aligned with God's will, because my shock and my stress system is not quite right. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that, because we are going through a place where people can really find themselves out of alignment with God and going everywhere. And that's when your spiritual self cannot align with the word. And how do we get that fixed? How do we help ourselves get to a place where we can get back in alignment with God's word, where we can get to the place where we are actually going in the direction that we should be. And the road isn't such a fight, you all, such a fight. We've gotten to the place that we have accepted discomfort as comfort in our life, that everything is supposed to be a fight. Everything is supposed to be a struggle. And actually, God did not give us life for that. He gave us a life for abundance, and he gave us life for peace. And I know you're saying, well, abundance and peace does not allow for grief. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And the thing is, when the grief happens, it's like your shocks and strut system. Good morning, Darshay. Good morning, wonderful woman of God. When our shock and strut system is out of order, grief hits us, and it causes our system to feel every bump in the road and get out of that alignment. That means we aren't stable, but that means you haven't taken your time to take your car to the master, where he can get your shocks and struts fixed and reel back aligned in the word. So it's a moment that you got to pull in. And today I'm saying pull in so that you can fix the crack, so you can fix the wall that's in your life. And that's very important, because a lot of us are riding with a bad system. So number one, how do you know that you have unstable movement? So that's the first thing about a shock and a strut system. You have unstable movements. You're always wrestling with your spirit. You can't make a decision. You can't go in a direction, and you're stuck because you always still find yourself in the same place. You're not going left. You're not going right. You're not going forward. You're not even going backwards. You're stuck. You can't make a decision on which way to go. You're fighting with your spirit. Then this happens when your shocks and strut system work. You having troubles turning, making it around the curve. So I don't know if you all have ever had to go through a curve, and when your shocks and strut system aren't working, they trying to pull you one way when you're trying to go another way. And if you're not careful, they will have you over in a ditch. And so that's how the system works when this heartache hits you. If your system is not fixed correctly, as it said in Proverbs 25:28, if you have a crack or broken walls, you don't have stability. And then when you don't have stability, your turning system isn't stable. And we know the word says, I will straighten out your crooked ways. So the thing is, while we're going through those curves, we have to allow God to stabilize us, to straighten those ways, because there are a lot of cliffhangers in life. There are a lot in it. And let me say, if you live here in Georgia on the roads, everything is a turn, a curve. We don't have flat land here. So that's kind of like in life. We're expecting things to just go flat and go through. That means we live in a dead life because we have flat line. We don't want everything to be smooth. We want everything to be straight. We are just existing. We're not moving, making movements and going through the curves of life, enjoying the mountains, the high roads, the low roads. And the only way we can do that is because we will get back control of our spirit. It is not a place we should always stay. It is a woe is me. Woe is me means that you are always afraid. You have lost control of moving through the curves and maneuvering in life because you're always afraid you're going to go over the edge. So stable movement, clear decisions, being decisive, and understand that you see that you have moved one step today. Number two, able to navigate the curves of life. That means your system is good. Number three, I remember I started off, you're always jerking. You don't have the capability to break and stop. You don't have the ability to accelerate and move. That means you are always jerking and throwing people because you don't have the boundaries and the control. And what your spirit is obvious is because your actions and your responses to people are ratchet. What it means, it is not lined up with the spirit. You are not in love. You are not functioning in love. You are jerking and throwing people all around on the ride. And that's why people don't want to be around you. You have a horrible ride that you are taking people on. This is where you can check yourself. You always got a throw me attitude, always a get back spirit, that is when you have lost control. This is when you need to get back in check. And people say, well, I should be able to say what I want to, be able to feel how I want to when I'm going through. But when you're going through, you have to be even more in control, because this is where God is using you. This is where God is testing you to see what is inside of you. And this is when you are releasing it. So this is when you have to get control of your response and reaction, where you are not always throwing people and they feel like they're going to go through the windshield. They always feel like the seatbelt is yanking them too tight. This is where you have to learn how to take control. So it's hindering you from being connected to people, but it's also hindering you from moving at the speed that you need to. You understand the inner workings of your life when you understand about this shock and stress system, how it has got you to a place that you are disconnected from everybody. You can't get new people around. You can't get people to support you because your response and your reaction are not where they need to be in your spirit. Your spiritual self is disconnected. It is broken, and the walls are broken. No boundaries, no control. No boundaries, no control of your life. So let us get back control of our spirit and get it back to where we are pulling in the shop and getting a regular check-in and getting our regular strut and shocks maintenance done. They're wearing out on us because we've been through many bumpy roads. And so this is where when we talk about these bumpy roads, uneven surfaces. I don't like to ride. I don't like to ride in a car that's always got you going up and down, jerkety jerk. You ever feel that car nauseous sickness when you're in a car and it's just going up and down, up and down, up and down? You got people who feel like that's how you are. You're like a roller coaster ride. You got them feeling nauseous. Every time they're around you, they feel sick. It's because you have no clarity, no focus. You are just here. They're just there. You're actually just everywhere. So the thing is, it's hard to say this about ourselves. It's hard to say we have no focus. It's hard to say there is no clarity. It's hard to say that we are making other people nauseous, and we're making ourselves sick because we're not going anywhere. We feel like we always on a roller coaster ride, jumping up and down, moving in something that's always throwing us off balance. It's our shocks and our struts. And as the word says, we are cracked and broken, and we have to go and fix those broken and cracks and walls in our lives so we can put substance, the word, back around us. A lot of word to build up a wall around us so that we don't allow everything to offend us, allow everything to hurt us. Yes, let me explain like this for you. There will be moments when your shocks and struts go down and you feel the effects of life in a different way. But that is the opportunity when you know that you need to pull in closer to God. Find the word that seals the crack in your life, that allows you to function around other people so that you aren't feeling broken down, you aren't feeling sore, you aren't feeling tired, and you aren't making people sick, and you can get back control of your destination. You can get back in control of your purpose. You can get back the focus that you need in order to live and go in the direction that God has you. Because the life will have wear and tear on you. So I don't want you to sit here and think that we jump in here and everything is just hallelujah, glory. But the thing is, you jump in here so you can get an encouragement to do what it is that you need to do on the inside work. So today, the inside work is taking a moment to pull into the mechanic, the master mechanic, and then he will connect people. He will have various mechanics to help you, assign you, work on those aspects in your life. So if you feel like today, I'm speaking to you about your shocks and about your struts, because you are out of alignment. You started off in January saying you wanted to be somewhere, but now you look back and you are in the exact same place you were in January. And I'm emotionally, mentally, physically. You might look good on the outside, but emotionally, mentally, and physically, you are still tired. You're still worn. You're still battling with your spirit. about what is it that I'm doing? What is my next? Where am I to go? Because your shocks and your struts are just out of line, and we don't want you to be stuck right here. We got 90 days, and we don't want you to be here this January coming up as you were last January. The word says this is a new day. And on this new day, every day that we wake up, God is willing to assess us, fix us, make us new again, make us over, tear out what is not good. So allow God to search you today on these 90 days and set you up to a place where that your shock and your strut system can be improved. I look forward to hearing what everybody is doing on their journey to get their vehicle working to its best. So I'm wanting you to have your best journey, wanting you to have your thriving experience. So I am telling you to pull in these next 90 days and make sure you get the work that is needed on your vehicle. Take a moment for you to go back and reflect on Proverbs 25:28. So God provides a revelation in that word for you so that he actually shows you what is inside of you. All of us think that we are okay. And that was one of my favorite words as I was going through. I'm okay. I'm okay. But the thing is, God wants us to be better than okay. God promised us our best. So every day we should be becoming a better version of ourselves, not just an okay version, repeating the yesterday version of us. So I'm looking forward for you all to stretch yourselves and grow with this grief into your new version. Any time that you would like to, there's a link here. You can schedule an appointment with me. But if not, you're not ready to schedule, just jump in and get the link a little bit further and watch some of the previous shows so you understand the wonderfulness, the uniqueness of this vehicle that God created and some of the strategies and the plans that he have laid out before us for you to be your best. But I thank you for joining us here on another First Saturday as part of the I Am Her Healed, Equipped, and Resilient platform that is reaching across the nation, because her can even be him, healed, equipped, and resilient to get to our next place so we can continue to ride as God has equipped us to do and carry the people who are assigned to us. So look forward to seeing you right here in this place, in this group on next First Saturday in 30 days. I pray that you all experience something new, something different, and something blessed.